Halloween may be several months away, but from a pure quantity standpoint, Gourgeist EX is the fourth best new deck in Chaos Rising. And because I need to take one more jab at it, the pumpkin is better than Mega Clefable. Yeah, I said it. I mean, one does 280 damage for a single energy, while the other does 280 damage for 6 total energy. You tell me which sounds better. Anyway, for a single Psychic, including a Telepathic, Gourgeist does 30 base damage. But for each Pokemon on your bench with a damage counter, that's up by 50. So with a full bench of 5, you top out at 280. It's boring, but you play this deck exactly how you think. By putting Risky Ruins into play ahead of a Telepathic, which instantly benches 2 Psychic types from deck, you guarantee they get damaged. Colress fulfills both of these Santa Clauses, making him perfect for the job. The most popular build in Japan paired Gourgeist with Frostlass Munkidori. This way you can put Munkidori into play early, even if you whiff Risky Ruins, and they'll still take damage later. Plus, Lily's Clefairy allows Gourgeist to one-shot Dragapult with just 3 damage bench Pokemon, though it does become a liability after. Now, if you're a typical Frostlass player, look away, because this image is scarier than watching a shiny Pokemon's HP bar slowly dwindle to nothing while you come to the horrifying realization you hit it with a crit. But you really only want to have one Frostlass in play at a time, so things like your Meowth and Pheasantipity and Clefairy survive long term. You don't mind if they get their butts chewed on slightly, because that's the whole goal with Gourgeist. Plus, Munkidori can always heal them thanks to the included Darkness energy. Because I can't advocate for a filthy hand control deck, I'll be skipping past the Patrick Swayze version of Gourgeist that relies on Banette, Xerosic, and Ghostly Touch to leave your opponent with a small or even 0-card hand. So definitely don't screenshot this and put it in your secret folder that you look at when you're home alone. Instead, I'll focus on the next best build, which only has 3 top 16 finishes in 3 months. That is, of course, scooping out the innards of the pumpkin with a spoon and using Alakazam. While you might think this is taking 2 separate ideas and making both weaker by combining them, well, you'd be right. Aside from the fact that they're both Psychic types and attack for a single energy, there's very little synergy here. What I will say is that I appreciate how much whacking off the creator did. Remember, Risky Ruins is how you damage the bench. But what if you put Abra down early and couldn't find your stadium? That's when it's time to bring out the timepiece. You devolve the Kadabra after drawing 2 cards, put Abra in the active, then use its Teleporter ability to send it back into the deck. It's both hilarious and way more effort than you should be putting into something so potentially weak. The Alakazam build also plays 1 copy of Patrat. Remember that this guy shuts off Munkidori's ability to move damage counters around. That's important because if everything goes right, your Abra will have 20 hit points left, putting them in the danger zone. And if you haven't noticed the other strange timepiece spice, you can let a Gourgeist take a hit from something weak like Badoo. Then on your turn, you devolve it, retreat it for free thanks to Latias, then bring up a fresh Gourgeist, meaning they help build up Horrifying Rondo. Another strong card you can add here that attacks for a single energy is the Easter Bunny. You could always add this as a way to deal 230 damage easily, especially paired with Abra's Teleporter. But at that point, I think you're better off with just an Alakazam Lopunny deck, not Gourgeist Alakazam Lopunny. For those wondering about an Area 0 build, it's tough because you can't run Risky Ruins. Instead, you have to go the Frostlass route with Cornerstone Masked Ogerpon plus a lot of ability Pokemon. Except Frostlass damages between turns, so you have to wait a turn hoping they don't bump your Area 0. It's the same reason why an Emolga build wouldn't really work, it's just too slow. Though 1 copy of Emolga as a break in case of emergency card in the other list isn't the worst idea I've heard. The worst idea I've heard is from Ash, who thought Rhydon's horn acted like a lightning rod.